Hi, welcome to the Q. My name is Gummi, and today I am here with Valarie Carlos.
Hi, I'm Private Carlos.
Yes, now it's Private Carlos. So, Valarie is our old production assistant, former student. So, Valarie, you have come back to Laredo. You're on your break, right?
Yes, I got like 45 days, which is a lot, because usually people only get like 10 days or like 20 days. We get the most, like the girls, because I graduated on 8th of December, and since it's like during like the holidays, Christmas, New Year's, and all of that, so they just gave us a lot more, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that's really what I wanted out of the whole entire time I was there in boot camp. I was just like, I hope I get enough time to spend with them, because that's all I did. I was missing them so much.
Yeah. So one of the things that I remember you as a freshman in high school, and you were obviously with Triana and your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you talking about, I think even then, when I asked you what career you wanted, you had always said law enforcement, right?
Yeah.
Is that still the career path you're going to?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that why you joined the military?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. That's literally what drove me to it, and I was just like, I wanted, in a way, not that I wanted to take like the easy road, because trust me, it wasn't an easy road, but like a more, also be respected in the way, but also have like more experience, like without, because I want to be like an FBI or detective. So I was like, for the process, it low-key takes like some time, like 5 years of being a police officer, and then after that you see if you're gonna go up and down. So I was just like, I rather I know you have a lot of opportunities when you have like the title of a Marine or like of any military, branch. So I was like, I thought it was pretty smart, at least. Like, you can have any type of job you would want. Anything would be secure for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's not just, law enforcement.
Yeah.
A lot of people from the military go into, all kinds of businesses and stuff. They also go into like politics and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that military backing, it does actually help, because it adds to like the resume, like that. You have that prestige, because not everybody joins the military, especially not the Marines, right? Hence the few, the proud, right?
Literally. Nah, and especially for women too, because it's like, that's even lower.
Yeah.
But right now, we're doing pretty good on numbers. I would like to say, like, for women, like, there's a lot of them joining. I think we're like expanding a bit more, to be honest.
When you were there, like, what do you think what would you say the ratio was, like, women to men?
Ooh. That was,
like, for every 10 guys, how many women were there?
So there's 500. This is only like one company in a way, like one big group that trains us. It's 500, right? And we're only 100 out of all the rest of them.
100 women?
And then the rest of them is all males.
That's 20%. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, but then like there's more companies, there's more groups being trained. There's like, let's say there's 10 groups, and only 3 or 4 only have like females that train with the males.
Oh, okay.
Because the rest of them, there's not enough women to like fill up the rest of them. You get me? The rest of it forever keeps going. That's all males. So it's like, it's shocking, but at the same time, it's like, well, that's pretty good, like for what we like, the amount.
Well, I mean, it's still progress.
Yeah.
Considering that women couldn't even join the military before.
No, yeah, that's what I was like. It's good. And no, and for like the instructors, like even like the female Marines that are there, like that trains us and stuff like that, it's also a pretty good amount of them, that train us.
So how realistic is boot camp compared to like what you see in movies? Because if you ever watch movies, especially older movies, military movies, when it's during boot camp, and you always have the drill sergeant yelling like in your face.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. But what's it called? In a way, like that was back then. Like that things have like right now they're changing so much. Even like during boot camp, like when I was going, when I went, like rules were changing. They were like, oh, they can't do this, they can't do that. You get me? Like they're logical or like more thoughtful, more thoughtful. Yeah, more thoughtful. Yeah.
I've spoken to people who were in the military. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, even some of them even went to, were part of Operation Desert Storm in that time. And when they compare it to the movies, they said it's not. It's the movies are exaggerated. And then now, like when you can talk to people who have been in the military recently or who have just joined or have experienced, like you just came out of boot camp, right? My hair is all over the place, by the way.
Yeah, me too. That shit's tight.
I need a haircut. But they mentioned how it's completely different now. It's not. They've kind of gone a little more.
They probably say they softer.
Yeah, a little softer. Yeah. I think. I mean, I've never been in the military, so I don't know. But they do say it's not like too soft to where it's kind of like.
I think my drill instructors, what they were talking about, they were also like, because we asked them like, what do you think, like everything like is now changing, like you can tell like it's getting softer, right? And it's like, yeah, but I feel like at the same time they're like focusing more on like not being I guess traumatizing us, like focusing on like punishment, you get me? Like now it's more about like, okay, focus on like actually learning how to actually like for survival and stuff, like if things would actually happen, like a combat mindset basically. But instead of like focusing on stuff like, oh, getting mad at us 24/7, I mean it's part of that too, but I think it's like they're more like, let's try something new, maybe. You get me?
Take a different route. There's different ways to achieve success and discipline.
And I think for everybody's gonna be different, like boot camp. Like like I have like some Marines are like, oh, like, nah, it wasn't even that bad for me, it was actually fun. And I'm just like, I'm gonna be honest, I mean, no. I had my fun moments, I'll tell you that. Like it was funny, like sometimes I was like, shit, like I really want to laugh like at what's going on, but mentally it's like, like I would not do that shit again. I really wouldn't.
So you graduated from high school, right? And you had already decided to sign up, so you signed up. What was your next step? Like, what did you have to do, or what did they require you to do?
So like the process in order to enlist. And so obviously it's not you're not just gonna like, whenever they ask you like, oh, do you want to join, or you're interested, you want to talk about it, like even if you go, it's not like, oh, hey, like let me, like you're gonna enlist already, they're gonna send you off in that moment, you get me? Like no, like it has like its little mini process, you get me? And it's like the way it started for me, it was like I just started first what I did, I was like, I took the ASVAB, and I waited for my scores and whatever, and that's when like your job opportunities, like that's what like levels, like, oh, what do you have, what can you do you want to like for every section, depending how you do, that's like what you can qualify for the job that you want, maybe. And after that, like once, like depending your score, you talk to your recruiter or a recruiter, and they just talk about like also not just the ASVAB, but like also like physically, like do you have anything medical, like prescribed, broken bones, physically not okay, mentally maybe not okay, like to see, like they want you to be like so you don't hurt yourself like when they do send you, or like, so like if you might have something like, oh, you're colorblind or stuff, like so they know that like, oh, this person like has this, or like could qualify still for like to be like able to go over there, like if it's okay like for them to go through the things they're gonna go through over there. So after that, if you do enlist, they send you up to maps, and it's like 1 day, 2 days depending, But yeah, after you do, it feels really great. It feels nervous.
So,
I went up
explain what MEPS is, though.
MEPS. It's like I said, it's just to see if you qualify first. Like they send you everything that if your ASVAB score, your job, what you picked before you do all the paperwork with your recruiters, and then they send like, oh, this so and so has this. Like, can they like me? I have asthma. I have a broken bone, and I had a rod in there. So, okay, now they send my paperwork, and now I'm gonna go up there, and they're gonna ask me the questions, and they're gonna check me like fully entire, like everything. Urine analysis to see I'm not pregnant, no children, or like or something wrong with me, like just to check up on me
like
again.
Like screening you, basically.
Yeah, or like my weight, if I also like not being overweight, underweight. If I have scars, stuff like that too. Like yeah, a screening basically. Yeah, and as soon as I get there, they just like a lab rat. That's what I like to call it. Like literally a lab rat. They're picking on you. They're like taking blood samples. It's not bad at all, but it's like it's so like it's super long. Like I just like I'm like falling asleep. But like and in the end, well, they just try to see if you're good or not, and yeah, that's basically it. And then if they see that there's nothing wrong with you and they're like you actually qualify for everything, you can enlist that same day that you go. And that's exactly what happened with my sibling, Alondra Carlos. Yeah, she enlisted today. Gotta get that shout out. Yeah, I'm so proud of her. But yeah, like her, she literally she just went on her first time to MEPS, and she qualified. Like she passed everything. Like she had nothing wrong with her. Like must be nice, you know. But like I had like so much like, stuff going on with me, and then like she enlisted that same day. So yeah, you could. Sometimes it could take longer, but like I said, like your recruiters, they work with you, they help you, and if you really want that, like you really want that goal, like to earn that title, then to achieve that goal, then yeah, they'll help you. And then if you're physically like ready, they have to. Even if I think you aren't, they're gonna get you physically ready in order for you to be ready to be sent off to boot camp.
Yeah, because you guys go out and runs and do that stuff for you, right?
Oh yeah. They have the PTs. Yeah, physical training, and it's like 3 times a week. Yeah, and I really like them, but the only reason is because I had my friends and stuff like that too. But you won't believe it, the PTs, the training that I did with them, or worse than I did in boot camp.
Well, I mean, but in a way that's kind of better because you've already gone. Like it makes boot camp look easier.
Yep, and that's exactly what happened. And they knew what they're doing.
Yeah.
They get you ready for everything, for like what you're gonna expect in boot camp. Obviously they're not gonna tell you everything, but they do train you like, oh look, this is what's gonna happen. You gotta be ready for what's gonna happen. Like, you gotta be fast. You gotta be strong. You gotta do this. If not, they will work with you. Like they're committed, but you gotta show that you're committed as well to show that you really want what you signed up for.
Yeah.
And they usually even the like from what I remember, like the training with them have like the same things in boot camp, like all the log drills, the running, the some of the exercises are the same.
So mentally, how did this change you? Because look, you're fresh out of high school, and I mean, as a high school teacher, you have students at different levels of self-confidence, self-esteem, and discipline, right? You have the kids that are like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to lay in bed using my phone. I just want to go out and party and stuff. Wherever you are at that point, fresh out of high school, and now that you've come back and you've experienced boot camp, how much have you changed, or have you seen a change in yourself? And if so, how much have you changed in that aspect?
Well, I'll tell you that for sure. Like mentally, my mindset has really like changed. Like it really has. And I compare it all the time. I'm just like, even before that, before I headed up to boot camp, I tried to keep that mentality, like things are gonna change within me. Like I can't. Before I joined, I was always like, I won't lie, I was a party girl. I would like to go out at night and stuff. But then at some point, I was like, I'm not gonna be doing this all the time. I need to have a plan for my future, and
Mm-hmm.
I still plan to go to college, but I wanted to like get it all in one go. So I was like, the Marine Corps like offers me that at the same time, a job. It could be like a law enforcement job or not, but it gives me a job and it allows me to study and a full paid like college.
Mm-hmm.
So from that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna join. And I was like, I need to, it got me that independent of mindset, like, okay, I want to have my own money, I want to have my own place, I want to be able to like not depend on my parents. They support me like in anything, like they would have supported me in my college too, and like it was good to feel that support, but I was also like, I don't want to feel like a burden like to them, and I'm so appreciative for what they've done, and I want to return it back by like making them feel proud, like, look, I did something really huge, and then I want to like, by making my own money, I want to be able to give back to them. Like, oh, you know what? Like, let's go on a vacation. Like, oh, like Hawaii or I don't know, one day.
Yeah.
And from that, it also gives me like, you know what? I want to set up a good example for my sister and for everybody. Like, don't, like, it could be scary, but sometimes you have to take the chance because it's gonna make you better in the end. And it really did. Like, your mindset's like family and God. That's one thing that honestly like brought me so close to God, like my faith and everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy for me, at least, because I didn't think it would, like, I was already close. I was already like involved with the church, but it was more than that. I didn't think I could believe even more than I already did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it also kept me that mindset, like, keep moving forward, keep thinking that you're always going to be stronger. There's like so many possibilities out there. Like, don't settle like for like, oh, maybe I should just stick to this. No, like, go bigger, like, you never know what's out there.
So you go off to boot camp, you come back, you've seen the change in yourself. You're not that immature anymore, right?
I never was.
You've well, you know what I'm saying. You've learned some discipline or more discipline, and then you come back and you meet your friends who are probably still the same as they were when they graduated high school. How do they see you, and how do you view them differently? Do they view you differently?
I mean, yeah. I think the thing with me is that they kind of always see me like, oh, like, if she's gonna do something, she's gonna do it.
Yeah.
You get me? And I've been still like, that's what I kept, honestly. But like, I think also what changed was the physically. They saw that a lot in me. They were like, oh, like, you really put your mind to it. You really changed. You did what you were gonna say you were gonna do. And I don't view them too differently, but it's like, when I see other people, or like, because when I came back and I was just like, people are still in the same spot, or like they haven't been moving while I was just gone for 3 months. I'm like, a lot can happen in 3 months. And I was like, why, how come, not to like put them down, but it's like, why can't, like, where's the drive in you to like to actually do something with your life? Like, I don't care what it might be. Like, you know what, you're at least going to college, but also be doing something at the same time. Keep your like open-minded that, oh, okay, you know what, I have this, but maybe I should have other options, like, in case, like a backup plan. So I'm always saying like, well, why can you do more? Like, for me now, it's like, do more. Like, you get me? Don't just be like, okay, well, this should be enough. No, it should be like, you could do more. So I seen like, oh, they're pregnant or stuff like that. I'm like, that's nothing bad, but it's just like, I know people who have the potential. Like, it's like, I know you could have done so much better. Like, and you have a future, you have this, you like so smart. Like, maybe they're still going to college or something, but it's like, you could have made it in the Marines, like stuff, or like a branch. You could have been a lawyer. You could do something. You get me? So it's like sometimes I'm like, oh, like it makes me like, like not like pity them, but it's also like maybe
it's almost like it frustrates you because and it's this is what being a teacher is like, right?
Yeah.
When you see a student who is smart and you know they have potential, but they choose to be lazy and live on their phone, and that's it. So it kind of frustrates you because even though you try to reach out to them or you try to inspire them, they're not ready to move on to the next level.
Yeah, and it's like that's like people are like, well, I'm not ready. I don't know about yet. Maybe next year, maybe next month. But it's like what my recruiter says, like, is it gonna be on day one or one day?
Yeah,
you get me? So it's like, when is it? When are you gonna start? Like, you don't have a time. It's like you should just do it.
Yeah,
do it. Like, you're sponsored. That's great.
The reason I I bring up the whole change in your friends and whether how you see a change in them or they see a change in you is because throughout your life you're going to have moments of clarity, like where you're going to mature, right? And most of the people that I've met that I know who have gone off to the military or just even gone off to college, they change. And so a lot of times you see that where you come back and you're not the same person. Like, I've known people who have gone off to the military, they come back and they're like serious. They're still funny and all that. I mean, that hasn't gone away, but they're no longer that kind of like silly, immature, you know. And so, I mean, they still crack jokes and stuff and they're funny, but they're a little bit more mature now.
I think they like think now. They're more like, like think about what you're gonna do before you do something.
Yeah. You know, and maybe that was ingrained in them, you know, when they were in boot camp, or maybe while they were training to go to boot camp. But a lot of people, I think you get a lot of people who say like, "Oh, you think you're better than us now because you did that." That's why I asked you about your friends, because they're still in the same place. They will eventually, hopefully, right, reach that level in their own time, to where they start maturing and think differently and stuff. And you've already done that. You know, you've already taken one step to that, and you're already thinking about your future, which is why you even joined the military to begin with. Some other people aren't at that level. Some never even reach that level, right? But have you gotten any of that feedback? Like, oh, now you think you're better than us, or, you know, that kind of like an envy, jealousy, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean, but honestly, I don't think I have, but maybe I'm pretty sure people think so, but they've never told me anything.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't think so. A lot of people support me though. I'll say that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, and let me ask you this though: so obviously your mom's gonna support you, right? And now you've inspired your younger sister to join as well, and she did. Has your mom seen the difference in you?
Yes. Yeah, she has. She always tells me. Also, my family, they'll be like, "You're like in a way different. The way you think, the way you're talking about stuff about life, like what your plans are in life." And I'm like, well, yeah, 'cause the way I also like cherish like my mom and my family. I talk about like being away from them. Really, I never thought that it would affect me, 'cause I was like, oh, like I would sleep over, I'd go out of town and stuff without them. But like being without them, like communication, there was not really like, oh, let me send a text. It was like, I can't. Yeah. And it really like it built my bond especially with my dad, like a lot closer, and it changed them as well.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe. Yeah, it changed them as well. They were like in a way, we both saw that we didn't take advantage enough of what we have, to appreciate of what we have.
Yeah.
Like, you have your parents, and then I'm like, you have a daughter. You get me? So they're like, oh, my dad, for example, it's like, I didn't spend as much time as I did with when she was here. Now it's like, I want, like, what do you want? Do you need this? Do you need that? Like, and it's crazy. Like, even the letters I would get, I was like, where was this love? You feel me?
Yeah.
And so, but now it's like, I show tons appreciation for them. I'll do anything for them. And then the way I'm like, oh, you know what? My decision making too. Like, do you need something, Mom? Or like, do you want me to pay for something? I'll pay for anything. You get me? Like, since I got that paycheck, I'm like, I'm going to spend it on you guys. Like, I'm trying to show you how much I really am. I promise that I would do anything for you guys to make you guys happy and whatever you guys need. And, like, talking about, like, oh, like, this isn't good for my future. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say this, you know, oh, this is my plan going forward. So, and when I tell them, they're like, that's like, well, that's like shocker because you're thinking about it yourself. You get me? You already have something in mind. And then they're like, you really, like, in a way, you're like, you really don't need me. You know?
Yeah.
I do need my parents, though.
But yeah. But I think when you're a teenager, I mean, you're still a teenager, but when you're in high school, you take stuff for granted. And then, you know, you had months away from your family and you start appreciating what they actually did for you, right? Yeah. And, I mean, maybe you did notice that before, but when you have that time apart, it becomes more noticeable. Yeah, but, I mean, it's because, I mean, if you think about it, life is short. And when you start taking people for granted, all of a sudden, when you start realizing how much they did for you and they're no longer there, you're like, oh, damn, okay, maybe I shouldn't take them for granted. And you start appreciating what they've done and what they're going to keep on doing for you. Why would anybody, you're out there recruiting, right? Why would anybody want to join the military?
I know I'm saying it's like the worst, like the way the things you go through in there, but it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it what the outcome is. The you come out independent. You learn so many things that could save you in real life. Like literally, it's what they do. It's their own world in there. Literally, it's their own world. It shocks me because it's like all these things, and I'm like, nobody does this. Nobody takes a chance to do this. But it's like all of the things they teach us in there is super helpful. It opened my eyes, and I'm always shocked to this day. Like, wow, like this is really a thing. You get me?
Yeah. And
they help you, like I said, become independent, become your own person, become actually, believe it or not a selfish person, a person, because like you're supposed to learn to work together, and in life you're gonna need that, and how to communicate with others, how to aid others, how you're gonna put your mind, how you're supposed to work under pressure, because there's gonna be days where like our world is not always gonna be perfect, and there's gonna be things that's gonna happen, and like it teaches us how to deal with that in any way. You could use whatever they taught you in there in any way you want.
Yeah.
And you're shocked to the things you didn't think you're capable of. Like you're like, wow, I could actually do this. My body could actually take its more limit than what it does.
Yeah.
And you feel so proud of yourself, like of the things you accomplish in there. Like they'll push you, they'll motivate you, and then in the end you're like, wow, I really actually did this.
Yeah.
Like it feels amazing. It really does.
Yeah. And that's why I asked about the self-esteem and the confidence, because I think when you go through, it doesn't have to be the military, right? It could be other events in your life, but when you actually go through stuff, good or bad, and you survive it, like you survive boot camp, you know, like, yeah, it's like, wow, I did this damn thing, you know. And I'll ask you one last question here. So if somebody is watching this video or hearing the podcast and they want to join the Marines, what do they have to do?
Contact me. But I mean, look, if you want to join the Marines, you should totally do it, even if it's hard. Don't think about it. Think about the outcome that you're gonna feel whenever like you're out. But the first thing you should do is talk to a recruiter. Talk to them. They're just gonna hear you out. They're gonna be honest with you. They're not gonna try to put you somewhere that you're not gonna be able to do. You get me? If you like, they're not gonna be like, you know what, let's just put you in there. No, they're gonna actually be like real with you, like about what's actually gonna happen, like whether you're qualified, you're not, you can do it or not. Like, but honestly, even if you think about it a little bit, don't put too much thought about it and just do it. 'Cause I mean, that's what happened to me. I was like last minute, like, yeah, let me just join the Marines.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna put the name of your recruiter, right?
If you do go to the RSS Laredo, obviously it's by Calton Road, and it's in front of Planet Fitness, and the one that says Marine on the door, the big one, yeah, that one. 'Cause I got confused one day. So yeah, and shout out to my recruiters, everybody at the station. Oh my God, I love them. Yeah, they're the best out there, and they'll make you feel at home so much, and they'll be honest with you. They're real ones. Staff Sergeant Ocio, Staff Sergeant Arreola, Sergeant Jimenez, and Sergeant Gomez. And yeah, basically they're amazing.
Did you want to give out your social media?
Oh yes,
information.
Guys, if you guys are interested, like let me know. I'm always down. Like to be real with you, even if like about boot camp process, even for females, that's also like a really big thing. Like it's better to like find out more information from a female to a female, because things are different. Mm-hmm. So yeah, honestly, yeah, even if you just want to talk about it a little bit, doesn't mean you're gonna join, but like just to keep your options open about it. But yeah, my Instagram is Valarie C.X. Yeah. All my social medias will be there in the way. So yeah.
Okay, and for the Q podcast, you can just search up THECUELTX, the QLTX, on basically everything: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. What else is there? It's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. THECUELTX. And that's it. Thank you, Private Carlos.
Yeah, Private Carlos. And this is, by the way, guys, I just want to put it out. This was my grumpy teacher from the podcast. He hated me so much, guys.
No, I didn't.
Okay, then when was I president? Nah, it's good. T, the real T. Anyways, that's all I had to say.
Okay, so that's it. We'll see you next time.
Bye.